Well, hey, in this video, we're going to talk about how to keep romance alive as you get older. And I have Ross and Sally in the studio today. Thank you for coming in to share some good tips with us on that.
Yeah, we hope it's helpful.
Yeah, I think that it will be. Yeah. Okay, so your first tip is about not to give up on romance. I guess that's probably a good place to start.
Yeah, because as you get older, your hormones change, like lower testosterone and postmenopause and things like that. And so it's easy to sort of have less energy.
Right.
And it's harder physically as you get older in a variety of ways. And so it's easy to give up, but it's worth it.
It's worth to fight for it.
Absolutely, and it's there's so many distractions. That's what I was going to say in life. There's just things that get in the way, and I think over time we, children or stresses, financial stresses, jobs, we can put those ahead of romance, and we just so it's important.
You got to choose it. You got to focus on it. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing you guys talk about is recalibrating from a kid-centered kind of marriage.
It goes into that well.
Yeah, that's a huge distraction for couples because it takes all your energy to raise kids, and so you get focused on the kids. Now, at our age, the kids are grown and gone, and so it's on one hand, it's a great opportunity because there are less distractions in some ways. But we're used to a certain kind of relationship. We've got in a rut, maybe, and we have to make an intentional effort to pull it back.
Right.
So you have to be creative. You have to. We keep using that word intention. And I think that's so important. Is to be intentional in your communication, in your acts of service, the little things, the little gestures, the tone that you use with one another. Kind of start dating and.
Sure.
Yeah.
All over again.
Absolutely.
So that you're not assuming it's just going to happen.
Right. Well, and that kind of leads to the next point about keeping communication great, really working at talking.
Yeah, because I believe that communication is the basis for the whole relationship. And if a couple's not communicating, then they're not going to feel a emotional and intimacy and a physical intimacy. And so when you're sharing life and sharing your heart, then that leads to sharing in all the other ways that you share.
And a practical thing about our life is we end our day doing that together, just talking about our day.
That's great.
It's nothing formal, it's pretty casual. We're just, there in bed. We make sure that we turn off the TV or don't even turn it on sometimes. We might read with one another and just really talk about our day and listen. And some days I need to talk more, and some days Ross needs to. But really, sharing our every day together leads toward that intimacy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, your last point then is about being creative and intentional about planning romantic things.
Yeah, this is where it gets really practical. And so when we got married, I didn't want that to wane because I'd seen it in my previous marriage before my wife had passed away. We had a dull spot, a dull part of our life. I didn't want that to happen again. And so I said, we're going to be intentional about getting away once in a while on a regular basis and build it into our budget, build it into our calendar so that we create the environments where we can just focus on our relationship.
That's great.
And it doesn't have to be fancy. It can be simple. Take advantage of Groupons. Take advantage of those places that will let you stay free if you listen to a sales presentation. I mean, just be creative and don't think it has to cost a lot of money. Just get away from your home too.
Good.
Because there's a lot of distractions there. Might be work, it might be home projects, it might be the laundry, you know.
Exactly.
And really get away and be intentional.
Yeah, home feels routine.
So,
yeah, I think that's great. Be intentional about planning and doing things outside of the house. Okay, so I hope those were helpful tips for you guys. I mean, romance is very important, and it's important to keep the fires burning over the years because it can get mundane and old, and that's when trouble can come into the relationship. So use those questions below. Have a conversation with someone in your world about this, and make sure that you're challenging yourself in your own marriage to make sure that you're working at keeping romance alive. We'll see you in the next video.